What if a huge earthquake hits Metro Manila? This is a video you guys have linked over because there's been a lot going on in the Philippines, especially this insane earthquake that just hit. And honestly, I made a video on it here, you guys can see, but this one is a crazy thing to think about because Metro Manila is so dense with so many people. I've been there, loved every moment of it, but that's the thing. There's a possibility for all of this. So you guys link this over to me, the specific video saying that it'll explain and what will happen and how to prepare. So let's get to this video together, please. Let's go.
Imagine this. It's a normal Tuesday afternoon in Metro Manila. 13 million people are going about their day, commuting in traffic, working in offices, shopping in malls, kids in school. Then, without...
Man, I'm already feeling tense, especially seeing the mall part. Like, when I went to the biggest mall there, I'm imagining how that would be too, because Metro Manila, having one of the biggest malls in the world, an earthquake potentially hitting that area is catastrophic. Absolutely catastrophic.
Without warning, the ground starts to shake.
Oh my gosh.
Not the gentle rolling you might feel from a distant earthquake. This is violent, sudden, powerful. Buildings sway, glass shatters, roads crack open. In 60 seconds, everything changes. This is not a movie. This is what PHIVOLCS, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, says will happen when the Marikina Valley Fault ruptures with a magnitude 7.2 earthquake.
A 7.4 just happened. So even, I mean, that's the thing is, it depends where it hits because a 7.4 hit a certain area, but if it were to hit Metro Manila, it would be even more catastrophic just because of how dense Metro Manila is and everything being so close together. Like, there's not much you can do.
They call it the big one.
Oh.
And it could happen today, tomorrow, or 10 years from now. But it will happen.
Yeah.
This is the Marikina Valley Fault, Metro Manila's greatest threat, and the earthquake that could kill 34,000 people
in minutes. Oh my gosh.
The Marikina Valley Fault is a 100-kilometer active fault line that runs through Metro Manila and nearby provinces. It cuts through the eastern side of the metropolis, passing through, or dangerously close to, some of the most densely populated cities in the Philippines. Quezon City, Marikina, Pasig, Taguig, Muntinlupa, parts of Rizal province. All of them sit directly on or near the fault line. But here's what makes it terrifying. It doesn't just threaten those areas. A major earthquake on the Marikina Valley Fault would affect all of Metro Manila.
Like a domino.
Every city, every municipality, 13 million people. The fault is what geologists call a strike-slip fault. Unlike subduction zones, where one plate dives beneath another, strike-slip faults involve two plates sliding horizontally past each other. Think of it like two massive blocks of earth grinding against each other. They're locked together by friction. Pressure builds over decades or centuries.
And that's the crazy part is some people don't understand that earthquakes, the idea of that trench being able to do that is something that you can't even wrap your head around really, right? Like the earth itself, like pushing above another one, or the floor underneath, like kind of pushing these plates underneath. Understand, because like it is difficult to wrap your head around, but understand that's like an immovable object for a human being. So when Earth is doing it by itself, imagine the after effects, right? It's like trying to imagine a giant meteor hitting Earth. You can't really imagine, but the after effects, you can start to like understand like, oh my gosh, the shock wave, the this and that. So it's the same concept with this kind of like earthquake when the tectonic plates shift over each other. It causes so much tension and tension in such seismic volume that it's like you can't really imagine it, but you can imagine the after effects, if you understand what I mean.
Then suddenly, catastrophically, they slip.
Yep, that's...
When that happens, the ground doesn't just shake vertically. It shifts horizontally. Roads split apart. Buildings built across the fault line are literally torn in half. Infrastructure fails instantly. PHIVOLCS has been warning about this for years. They've mapped the fault, They've studied the historical record. They've run computer simulations. Their conclusion? The Marikina Valley Fault is capable of producing a magnitude 7.2 earthquake, and when it does, the consequences will be catastrophic. Magnitude 7.2 doesn't sound that different from magnitude 6.0 or 7.0, but earthquake magnitude is logarithmic.
Oh.
Each whole number increase represents about 32 times more energy released. A magnitude 7.2 earthquake releases roughly 1,000 times more energy than a magnitude 5.2 earthquake. To put it in perspective, the 1990 Luzon earthquake that devastated Baguio and central Luzon was magnitude 7.7. It killed over 1,600 people and caused billions in damage. And that was in a less densely populated area than Metro Manila.
That's what I'm saying.
The 2013 Bohol earthquake was magnitude 7.2, the same strength expected from the Marikina Valley Fault. It killed over 200 people and destroyed historic churches and infrastructure. And Bohol's population density is a fraction of Metro Manila's. Now imagine that same force, magnitude 7.2, striking directly beneath the most populated metropolitan area in the Philippines. PHIVOLCS has conducted extensive studies simulating what would happen if the Marikina Valley Fault ruptured today. The results are devastating. Estimated casualties, 34,000 deaths. That's the official PHIVOLCS estimate, based on current infrastructure, building codes, and population density. But that's just deaths. The number of injured is estimated at over 100,000.
Oh my gosh. Yo. Yeah, man, this is why being safe or understanding that it could happen at any second prepares you even more, rather than ignoring. So this is very crucial to understand.
People trapped under rubble, crushed by falling debris, burned in fires, traumatized by the disaster. Buildings would collapse. PHIVOLCS estimates that 40% of residential buildings in Metro Manila are not built to current earthquake standards. Older structures, particularly in Manila, Quezon City, and other long-established areas, would suffer catastrophic damage. High-rise buildings in Makati, Bonifacio Global City, Ortigas, and other business districts would sway violently.
I was in these areas too.
Modern buildings are designed to flex, not collapse, but interiors would be destroyed. Glass would shatter. People inside would be injured or killed by falling objects. Infrastructure would fail. Roads would crack and buckle, especially near the fault line. Bridges could collapse, cutting off escape routes and emergency access.
It could be injuring the people who are mid-driving on top of these bridges too. Oh my gosh.
The entire transportation network would be paralyzed. Water supply would be cut. The Angat Dam and other water infrastructure could be damaged. Pipelines would rupture. 13 million people would lose access to clean water within hours. Power would go out. Electrical infrastructure would fail across the metro. Hospitals, emergency services, and communication systems would be crippled. Fires would erupt. Gas lines would rupture. Electrical shorts would ignite fires. With roads blocked and water systems failing, firefighters would struggle to respond. Large sections of the metro could burn uncontrolled. And this all happens in the first hour. Aftershocks would continue for days, weeks, or months.
Oh man, I forgot about that too.
Every aftershock would threaten already damaged buildings.
So many of you guys have been mentioning that too since this recent one that was a 7.6, I believe, or 7.4. There was a 7.4 and then also a 7.6, I believe. And a lot of you were saying you're still feeling some of the aftershock. And that's a scary thing too. And I emphasize again, like I mentioned in that one, remember, wherever you're going, whether it be to work or school, if the building was slightly cracked or a certain area for the infrastructure was damaged, you have to remember a lot of deaths also happen afterwards, after the earthquake, because of the fact that that damage stays there. You don't realize it, then it collapses when you think that the earthquake was kind of over. So that's another thing too, is you have to remember, yeah, the aftershock, like he mentioned, which is very crazy. that even happens, right? Like most people wouldn't really even know about that. And I remember there was a point where I didn't even know about that either, but a lot of you guys even were explaining some stories about after that first earthquake, you guys were saying that you were experiencing the aftershocks. So I would say be very, very, very safe when it comes to the buildings you enter and certain things like that, especially knowing what's going on with aftershocks now and the potential for many more. And I'm not saying just never enter a building. Of course, you need to for work, for school, and I still need to enter buildings too, right? So that's another thing. I would say try to understand it, try to know what to do, always have an idea of where to go. Like in your, like when you walk into a place, an exit because of anything that might happen, right? You're like, okay, this is where I'm going to go first if something were to happen, right? So just have that set in your head.
Rescue operations would be constantly interrupted. The psychological toll would be immense. Economic impact? PHIVOLCS estimates over 2.5 trillion pesos in damage.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
roughly 35 to 40% of the entire Philippine GDP. The economy would be devastated for years. The last time the Marikina Valley Fault experienced a major movement was in 1658, over 350 years ago. Historical records describe a powerful earthquake that caused significant damage in Manila. Geologists estimate that major faults like the Marikina Valley Fault rupture every 400 to 600 years. It's been 367 years since the last major event.
Oh, man.
Does that mean it's overdue?
Probably.
Not exactly. Earthquakes don't follow strict schedules.
Oh, yeah.
The fault could rupture tomorrow, or it might not rupture for another 200 years.
Yeah, there's another thing I mentioned with you guys, too. You guys actually helped me remember what it was. Again, I forget. But there was this almost like hot spring. You guys mentioned it. Y'all mentioned it again. I can't believe I forgot it. But in the U.S., there is this almost small little thing. It's like hot bubbling water. And if it were to burst, you guys remember, try and help me out here in the comments. But if it were to burst, like half of the U.S. or no, the whole country or something like that would be like devastated. And it's just waiting. It's like long overdue as well. So things like this are everywhere. And it's so scary to think about. There's even a volcano that could like destroy half of the US or something like that. Maybe you guys could also tell me in the comments about that one. There's so many. But knowing this for the Philippines too, especially with what's currently going on, is exceptionally important.
But the longer the time since the last major earthquake, the more pressure has built up.
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
367 years is well within the range where another major rupture is geologically plausible. PHIVOLCS is clear. The big one is not a question of if.
It's when.
It's a question of when. Metro Manila is the political, economic, and cultural heart of the Philippines. 13 million people live here. The government, major corporations, media, infrastructure, all concentrated in one seismically vulnerable area.
Yo, this music is scaring me.
If the Marikina Valley Fault ruptures, the entire country would be affected. Not just Metro Manila residents. The government would be paralyzed. Malacanang, Congress, the Supreme Court, most national agencies, all located in Metro Manila. The chain of command could be disrupted. The economy would collapse temporarily. The Philippine Stock Exchange, major banks, corporate headquarters, all in Metro Manila. A catastrophic earthquake would trigger economic chaos across the entire country. Ports and airports would be damaged or destroyed.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't even be able to leave or
Ninoy
arrive.
Aquino International Airport could be severely damaged. The port of Manila could be rendered inoperable.
That's literally where I arrived too.
This would cut off the country from international trade and aid. The psychological impact would be profound. Metro Manila is home to millions of overseas Filipino workers' families. The disaster would affect Filipinos around the world. So, what can be done? PHIVOLCS has been advocating for preparedness for years. Building codes have been updated to require earthquake-resistant construction.
See, this is good.
Earthquake drills are conducted in schools and offices.
Yeah, above everything else, above economy as well, remember your life is way more important. Way more important. So learning the drills, understanding the drills, understanding how earthquakes work. I think that's one of the most important things too, is when you understand how something works, then you can understand what to do. Because some people try to just figure out what to do during an earthquake. But when you understand how an earthquake really operates, it helps you understand fundamentally even deeper what to do, right? Because even if you follow the same drill, the person who understands how earthquakes work compared to the person who doesn't, just follows the drill, the person who understands the earthquake will be able to do more in the sense of, okay, I know that this can happen. So if anything were to shift that you can't do in the drill, you understand how an earthquake can operate, and you may know what to do next, like logically, fundamentally, right? So that's a big thing as well. But with that being said, remember, your life is just 10 times more important than anything else, any valuable round, any valuable materialistic thing. So try and just keep yourself safe. But of course, as well as I forgot the name of them, but the ones who are doing the volcanology, they're basically looking into everything to prepare the buildings and all that. That's very important as well. But priority number one, lives, of course, and this will help lives. And I think that this is already really good. We're going to see what else.
Campaigns run regularly.
Yeah,
but the reality is that most of Metro Manila is not prepared.
Yeah, that's not what you can do.
40% of buildings don't meet current standards. Many Filipinos don't have earthquake survival kits.
Oh, dude, no.
Evacuation plans are incomplete. Emergency response infrastructure is inadequate for a disaster of this scale. The government has a big one response plan. It involves pre-positioning supplies, coordinating emergency services, and establishing protocols for disaster response. But even the best plan will be overwhelmed by the scale of the disaster. International aid would be critical. Japan, the United States, and other countries would likely send rescue teams and supplies.
Yeah.
But aid takes days to arrive. The first 72 hours would depend entirely on local resources, and those resources would be stretched beyond capacity. Individual preparedness is essential. Every household needs an earthquake survival kit: water, food, first aid, flashlight, radio, important documents. Every person needs to know what to do when the shaking starts. Drop, cover, hold on. Stay away from windows.
Yes.
Don't run outside. Protect your head and neck. Every family needs an emergency plan. Where to meet if separated. A contact person outside Metro Manila. Evacuation routes. Buildings need to be retrofitted.
Yeah.
Older structures should be inspected and reinforced. Heavy furniture should be secured. Emergency exits should be clear. But even with perfect preparation,
things
the
happen.
big one will be devastating.
Yeah.
That's the hard truth. The Marikina Valley Fault runs beneath Metro Manila. It's capable of a magnitude 7.2 earthquake. PHIVOLCS estimates 34,000 deaths, 100,000 injured, and over 2.5 trillion pesos in damage. It hasn't ruptured in 367 years. Pressure is building. The next major earthquake could happen any time.
Be prepared.
13 million people live in Metro Manila. Most are not prepared. Many don't even know the fault exists.
Yeah, it's crucial they know.
The big one is not a myth. It's not scaremongering.
Yeah.
It's geology. It's science. It's inevitable. When the Marikina Valley Fault ruptures, Metro Manila will experience the worst disaster in Philippine history. There's no way to prevent it. But preparation can save lives. Are you ready for the big one? Does your family have a plan? Do you have supplies? Do you know what to do when the shaking starts?
Yeah, you guys all need to be prepared. I think that this isn't about, oh, just be afraid every single day from now on. No, it's just be prepared, right? Like when you have things in order, like kind of think of it like this, right? You don't want to walk around thinking you're going to crash in your car every single day. You don't want to do that, obviously. That's not how you want to live your life. But when you take the procedures to prepare for an event, an unfortunate event that could happen like that, especially knowing when you start to do the research, like I've done research before on like car crashes and stuff, how often it is. Usually it's not even the driver. Sometimes it's other people just hitting you. There's nothing you could do. So when I understood that, For example, my fiance, she has an aid kit, a glass breaker in her glove box. So if anything were to happen, she would have fallen in the water with the car. She can't get out. There's a thing that you just tap the glass, it'll shatter, and she could get out. There's a little knife thing that can cut the seatbelt out. All these things, right? But we don't every single day be like, I'm going to crash, I'm going to crash. That's not what you want to do, right? What you want to do is understand this, know this after watching this video, and have all the preparations in order. So when that time does come, I remember I have this kit. Yo, I have this right here. You grab it, everything is set. It could save your life, quite literally. So I have this kit as well in my car. Anything happens, I'm not thinking about it every day, but knowing that it's there is crucial. And this is the same concept that you should take into your lives with anything, right? But especially in the Philippines with earthquakes and all that's going on right now with so many natural disasters hitting the Philippines. This is crucial. So please, guys, be safe, be very safe, and take all the action you need to be prepared. I love you guys. Thank you for linking this over. I'm glad I could share with you guys and talk about it. I love you guys. Till the next time. Be safe. I love you. Peace.